Hello, can you hear me? All right. We are going to get started here. Let's see here. You can hear me. Okay, great. Help me out. Can you still hear me? If you can still hear me, let me know. Okay. All right, great. Well, welcome. We are here for a very exciting moment because it is Momentum Maker. And today we are going to talk all about getting us ready for the new year. And this is the time of year, including today, we have 4 Wednesdays left. Only 4 Wednesdays left in December. And I don't say that to scare you. I say that to get you excited for what's to come. Maybe this time of year is a time of reflection for you. Maybe you're thinking a bit, you're a little bit hard on yourself right now because you didn't reach the goal that you were hoping that you would reach by this time of year. Maybe you set a goal for yourself in 2023 and you've realized that it may not come to fruition this year. On the other hand, you might be thinking, I just want to enjoy the holidays. I am here for all the food and the fun, and I'm not really interested in doing anything right now. I just want to go on autopilot and I will pick up the pieces in January. We know that that is not a good strategy because research actually tells us that what we do in this holiday season, so we can include October because we have the Halloween candy, and November, the Thanksgiving, and then we have December, right? So those 3 months of going on autopilot, of just letting loose and doing whatever we want to do, whatever we think we want to do, right? Actually sets us back 5 months in the coming year. So I don't want that to happen to you. You're here today, you're joining me today, and we're spending this time so that is not you, so that you start January and you have momentum already going. This 4 week series is a lunch break series. So it's a quick little 30 minutes of your time. And I hope it infuses you and your day and your decision making in the coming weeks. It is Wednesday. And we have, as I mentioned, 4 more Wednesdays, including this one, until we get to January. So you taking these little steps week by week is going to allow you to be that much more ready. You're going to enter the new year with momentum instead of like the majority of the population that wakes up on January 1st and feels exhausted and tired because they stayed up late. And then they're trying to think, what's my goal going to be this year? What am I going to do? How am I going to do this? That's too late. That's way too late to be thinking about your year because you're starting the year off on a poor foot. We don't want to be doing that. We want to be making sure that we are enjoying the holidays, that we are totally present and having a wonderful experience, but we are starting now so that we can finish this year off strong and build momentum. So 2024 starts now in our planning and our thinking. So this series is going to allow you to take the time, and you have to do the work. So you can listen, but you have to do the work that's attached to this in order to see the results that you want to see. So this is a 4 week series, as I mentioned, and these are the components. Each week is going to have a particular focus, and they are this week getting clear on your authentic wants. And we're going to break all of these down. Next Wednesday, we're going to talk about assessing your present state of contentment. The following one will be setting your bare minimums in all areas. And that may sound confusing, but it'll be simple when we get to that third week. And then right before the new year, you're going to learn how to live out your purpose for the long haul. So again, you are setting yourself up. Congratulations for being here today, because you are setting yourself up for success in 2024. So let's get started, because we don't have a lot of time, right? We have to make use of our time, and it is your lunch break. So I want to make sure that I'm feeding you with appropriate amounts of information so that you're satisfied but not stuffed, right? We're going to get this right. So today we're talking about getting clear on your authentic wants. So we want to have a game plan to have the best and brightest year yet in 2024, one that puts you in the center of it. And if you are a people pleaser, or you are used to pouring out into others and leaving yourself with the scraps, this is going to sound selfish to you, but it's not selfish. Putting you at the center of your year allows you to continue to pour into others, but not from a place of depletion. You'll be pouring into others from your abundance. So imagine that you are so fulfilled in your choices and your actions in 2024 that you are like a cup overflowing, and you are going to allow people to enjoy seeing you and experiencing you at your best and your brightest. That's what we want. So I think we need to rewrite this narrative that we need to give, and then we just pick up the pieces. We have to flip that to the opposite. We need to fill ourselves up so that we're able to show up to our family, to our friends, to our job as the best we have to offer, the best version of ourselves. So how does that sound? Drop a message in the chat if it sounds good. Give me a thumbs up if that's how you want to enter your 2024. I sure do. That is my plan. So let me help you get there. So this is a really tricky question. And I think as women, we don't get asked very often. So we need to ask ourselves, right? We can't wait for someone to ask us, what is it that you really want? Allow me to ask you that today so that you can actually take time and think about this question. This is a tricky one. Getting clear on your wants means that you need to ask yourself this question: what do I want? And oftentimes, when people even hear this question, we give a very vague answer. We don't really know how to answer this question because it seems like something that's so far-fetched, something that we've never truly considered. But I ask you to think about this not just on a surface level, but we're going to go deeper today. But let's start right at the very surface. So what is it that you want? What do you want? And when we think about this, the first thought might pop into your head: I want to feel better. I want to get healthy, right? These are things that we might have always wanted, but they just feel like far off. Or sometimes they feel so close that the frustration lies in the fact that we just can't figure out how to get there. It just feels like it's just outside of our reach. So what do you truly want? I want you to take the time, and this can't be done now because you need to do it in a time when you're able to just pull back, maybe listen to some music, have some quiet, maybe light a candle, something that's just a time when you can just focus on that particular task. So what do I really want is the question that I want you to write down. I want you to write down this question, and I want you to take a time to self-reflect. So maybe that's tonight before you go to bed. Maybe that's first thing in the morning when you wake up. What do I truly want? And I want you to just allow the pen to go. Just let it go. Even if it sounds silly to you, even if you don't even know where that thought came from, that is your true inner desire. So I want you to write out whatever comes without judgment. Just write it out. And I want you to think about how can you make this happen in 2024? Because for some of us, we've never even acknowledged what we truly want. So I want you to be brave. I don't want you to be scared of what comes out, because if it comes out, it's meant to, and it's for you. So in this coming year, you're going to learn how to take it for yourself. If it's meant for you, you're going to bring it towards you. What we seek is what we attract to ourselves. So if we're looking for it, if we decide that it's something that we desire, it's because it's meant for us. It's meant to show up in our lives. So I really want you to consider that. And I really want you to think on that today as we go through this discussion. So when you're thinking, what do you truly want? I also want to give you another prompt. If nothing comes up for that, I want you to think about, what do I believe I need in my life right now? Maybe that's a way to get you to the answer, because you might draw a blank with what I truly want. But I want you to think about the different components to your life, because we have our family, we have our job, we have our health. So I want you to think about each area and try to draw an answer from each aspect of that. So what do I want for my health? What do I want for my family? But it's not about externally thinking about what you want for your family. I want good health for my family. No. What do you want for yourself in your family? I want to show up as a loving mom to my children. So what do you want? Who do you want to be in this question? So what do I truly want? And once we get there, I want you to think about going even deeper, because again, that's a very surface answer. If I say to you, I want to get healthier, that is so broad. And what health means to me and what means to you are two different things, right? So we have to think about, how can I go a bit deeper on that and get a little clearer on that? Because if we don't have clarity, then we have confusion. And when we have confusion, that leaves us room to trip up, to give up, to get overwhelmed. We don't want to see that. We want to see us going toward our goal because we are laser focused and we know what we want. So this is the time that you're peeling away the layers, peeling away the onions, peeling the onion, peeling the layers back, right? So if I say I want to get healthier, I have to do a little better than that, because that's not good enough. I might want to say something specific, like I want to be able to run around with my children and not get out of breath. And right now I'm giving you some examples from a health standpoint, but again, you can apply this to your career, to your family, to your relationships, any area that you want to see improvement. So if I say I want to get healthier, I want to get a little clearer on that and say, I want to run around with my children and not get out of breath. Or maybe I want to say, I want to incorporate body movement into my week 5 to 6 times a week. You see how that gets clearer? You see how you can already upfront know what needs to be done when I give specific parameters like 5 to 6 times a week? And maybe I would actually suggest making sure that you put something like, something I truly enjoy doing, moving my body in a way that I enjoy. Because if you have a specific goal in your mind and you say, I want to move my body 5 times a week, so I'm going to go to the gym 5 times a week, that might not be possible right now in your life. So if your goal is, I'm going to move my body intentionally 5 to 6 times a week, that may mean that you hit the gym 3 times. That may mean that you go for a neighborhood walk 2 times. That may mean that you stretch 1 time. So it's about making sure that you can do this. You're setting yourself up for success in the way that you plan it. So what do I truly want? I want to be able to get to the gym 5 to 6 times a week, or move my body intentionally in a way that I enjoy. Maybe I want to say, I want to incorporate strength training 3 times a week. That's very specific. I know if I did it, I know if I didn't do it, and I can get myself back on track very clearly. Because when we leave things vague, that leaves room for error, and we don't want that here. So, as I said, we're going to go deeper, because why do you want it is more important than what do you want. So when we say, why do you want this? It makes us be accountable to our true desires in a deeper way. If I say I want to get healthier, that is, again, just a surface statement. But if I want to get healthier because I feel like I'm not living up to my true potential, or there's a history of disease in my family and I don't want that to be part of my experience, I'm getting to the core of why this is important to me. And when we get to why it's important to us, we are so much more likely to show up for ourselves. It's easy to let ourselves off the hook when we say, I just want to be healthier. And then that distraction comes up, or we don't feel like it someday. But if we say, I am choosing to get healthier for myself because this disease runs in my family and I know I can avoid it if I put the work in. So, if that is your truth in your life, I want you to get deeper on the why. And when I work with clients, what I tell them is you want to get to a point where it hits an emotional chord. When it hits an emotional chord, that means that you've gotten to the root of it. And until we get to the root of it, if we're just dancing around the root of it, it's not going to have the same impact on us and it's not going to keep us as focused. So I ask, go deeper, go deeper. So if I say, I want to get healthier, why do you want to get healthier? I want to get healthier because it's important to me that I'm there for my kids. Why do you want to be there for your kids? I want to be there for my kids because there's family history of disease that has taken people in my family too soon, and I don't want that to be me. Why is that important to you? It's important to me because I want to live a full and vibrant life, and I want to fill in the blank, right? So do you see how going deeper and deeper and deeper allows me to get to the root of why this is truly a desire for me? And when I get there, that's my anchor. And that's what I have to draw from when the going gets tough. Because guess what? You're not going to feel like doing what you set out to do every day. We have emotional highs and lows. We are women, right? So we have hormonal changes that happen month to month. We have many more shifts to our hormones and our mood than males do. So we have a lot more to contend with. And the way that we can counteract that or balance it out is getting an emotional attachment to our goal. And when we get that emotional attachment, that's where we bring ourselves back to. Then when we don't feel like doing it, then we get a little strict with ourselves and we say, I'm doing this because it means this to me. And you can put that all around your house. I recommend you writing it down, having it in places where you can see it, because that goal on an emotional level is going to be what's going to carry you through to the end result that you desire. It's extremely important that you take this time and don't just stop at the surface. That's why I mentioned getting into a safe place, a place that you're comfortable being, a time that you're not emotionally exhausted or already drained from decision making fatigue. We want you to be fresh and ready when you embark upon this task. Then, this second piece here is asking, is this desire unique to me? So, when you've thought about what you want and you get to the kind of the root of what you want, I want you to just make sure, just do this final check to make certain that this desire is unique to you. And what does that mean? It means that we need to have authenticity. And remember, I said in the beginning of this that we are getting clear on our authentic wants. It has to be true to us. So we have to put it through the filter. Is this important to me, truly to me? Or is this something that someone else wants for me? Is this something that I see everybody around me doing? So I feel the need to keep up with societal norms? Or do I feel this pressure in the media or as I scroll through my social media? Is that unique to me, or is that just something that everyone's doing? Because if it's not unique to you, you will see that you'll have a harder time adhering to it because it's not truly your desire. It's something that has been implanted and programmed into you based on maybe how you were raised, what your current dynamics are with important people in your life, how much time you spend on social media or watching advertisements or just taking advice from those around you, watching others. What steps are they taking? What lifestyle habits have they incorporated? And then when we try to copy those without truly making sure that it is part of what we desire for ourselves, it's short lived. And you'll find yourself frustrated and you'll find yourself unable to stick with it. So you have to do this little check about yourself. You want to overcome those external influences. You want to make sure that you're doing a little detox before you write this. So maybe you want to take a few days and have a little social media break. Maybe you want to stop watching TV, or maybe you want to distance yourself from certain people in your life that tend to try to have a great influence on your actions. Maybe you need to pull back a little bit so that you can show up more fully for yourself. So you can kind of quiet all the noise around you and you can tap in to your inner truth, because we all have it. We all have an inner guidance system that we were created with. But what happens with life and people and experiences and our habits is that light gets dimmed, that voice gets quieted. And if it keeps coming up for you as a desire, you have a longing or a want to be healthy or to have richer relationships or to be more successful in a certain area of your life, that's your inner knowing. That's your unique inner self that is trying to be heard. So sometimes when we decide to pull back, we can actually step forward into that truth, into that inner knowing. We can start to trust that a little more. The loud noise around us gets quieted, and we can truly tap in to that voice that is guiding us. That's our inner guidance system. And that's where we need to be making our goals from. That needs to be the guiding light. That needs to be what course corrects us when we fall off track. So asking yourself, is this unique to me? And for some of us, this takes a lot of deprogramming. Some of us are not really sure what we want or what is actually just us and our desires and our wants, because we are so infiltrated by societal norms. We are so lost in the shuffle. And I mentioned in the beginning, on autopilot, we're just going through the motions. We're not actually considering, is this what I want? Is this for me? Or is this somebody else's dream for me? Or did I make a commitment to someone years ago and I still feel like I need to follow through with that? You need to really look at yourself year to year, month to month. And even if there was something that came up for you 10 years ago, you decided, I want to finish nursing school, check in with yourself. This new version of yourself may not be in alignment with that anymore. And that's okay. It's okay, because we are here to grow and change and evolve. So it's okay if something in years past isn't really important anymore. And sometimes we're carrying that baggage, thinking that we need to still do it and get to it and follow through with it. But it's a constant point of contention for us. And that's because it's not in alignment. It's not unique to us anymore. Maybe it was at one point. Maybe it never was, but we fooled ourselves into thinking it was. Whatever the story may be, we need to look at ourselves from today, from this moment, right now. What is unique to me today? Looking at 2023, reflecting on this year. What did I get out of this year? What do I still hope to squeak out of this year? And what do I want to step into in 2024? It's okay to release. It's okay to let go of those things that are not serving you, that are just draining you and pulling down and not allowing you to fully step into the person that you're meant to be. It is totally okay to do that. So, a vision of future me. This is the takeaway exercise that I'd like you to do today. Not necessarily today, but don't lose the momentum from this time together. It's important that you complete this today or tomorrow while the information is still fresh. So I want you to write down a vision of future you. And this is the you that has already achieved those goals, that is already the person that you desire to be, that is fully accepted who you want to be in this world. And this may be a strange exercise to you. Maybe it's something that you've never done or never considered doing. But guess what? This comes naturally to each of us. This is just something that we've forgotten how to do. Because think back to yourself at an early age, as a child. It was all about imagining. Our whole entire existence was about our dreams and our imagination. And we could have these elaborate scenarios of what we wanted to be and who we wanted to be and how we were going to do it. So this isn't something that's foreign to us. It's just something that we've forgotten about. So I really, truly believe that if you take this time and write a vision of yourself in the future right now, you will allow yourself permission to become that. Because whatever we envision, we draw into our experience. That goes with the negative and the positive. So if we want more of something, we have to think about it more. We have to give it more details. We have to take the time to imagine what it really truly looks like for us. So this is about, because remember, what we focus on multiplies. That's the good and that's the bad. So, in this future vision of yourself, what I really want you to do is use a method like journaling or meditation. Take some time to just sit with yourself and reflect. And I want you to use the power of visualization. Like I said, it comes naturally. You've just forgotten. So I want you to take every area of your life that you'd like to focus on. So if it's relationships, if it's your health, if it's your career, I want you to write out with pen and paper, what does that future version look like? What does she do? What are her habits? What time does she get up in the morning? How does she get dressed? How does she care for herself? How does she spend her day? What does the future you do on a day-to-day basis? And remember, this is the you that has already achieved your desired result. So if your desired result is to get healthier and to be incorporating exercise into your daily life and nutrition and getting honed in on increasing your vegetables and your protein and all the things that are good for you in your life, what does that look like? Because if you can take the time and express that on paper and just imagine the person that you want to be on paper, writing out how she spends her day, you have then opened up the possibility to bring that into your experience. Why? Because you've mapped it out. That person already exists. And if a person exists, even if it's in our imagination, we can draw that into our experience because we've just opened up the realm of possibilities. And then we can start living out that vision on a daily basis. So when we read over our vision and it says, I wake up every morning and I'm filled with gratitude for all the goodness I have in my life. I jump out of bed, I get my exercise clothes on, and I get right to work. I follow through with an exercise that fuels my body and strengthens my body and gives me energy to get through an exciting day, at dedicating myself to my passion. Do you see how by using that type of visioning and visioneering, we can actually start to understand what it takes to get there? What do we actually have to do to get to the point of being that person that we truly desire? When we take that time and we envision that future self, that future isn't so far off anymore. So I really want to leave you today with the idea, with the thought that this is the time right now, not January 1st or January 2nd, 2024, right now, December 6th, 2023. This is your visioning time. This is the time because knowing and doing are different things. We can know all of this. We can know what's good for us. We can know what we should do, but we have to get into action. We have to step into it and do it. If you heard something today that struck you, I need you to act on that. If there's something that stood out to you, it was for a reason. You were meant to hear that today, and that was meant to influence your next steps. So I need you to get into action today. Do something different today. Follow through with getting your goals written down and getting deeper into what you truly, truly want. And then finally, that visioning exercise. Don't sleep on that. Don't just think that it's not for you. It's for everyone. That type of exercise, if you're brave enough to do it, will change your life. So I really want to invite you to get into action today. Make sure that you are following through with everything that you heard today. And I will post this as a replay. So if you want to listen to something again, you'll be able to do that. But next week, when we join each other next week, we're going to be assessing our current states of contentment. So that's a really important one because we have to look at each area of our lives and really give ourselves a grade, a gauge on how we feel in that particular area. And that's going to help guide us and help guide our focus as we're taking these next steps. So I cannot wait to see you next week, Wednesday at 12:30. It's a lunch break series, so we have a lot to pack in 30 minutes. If you have any questions about what you heard today, feel free to reach out to me. There's many ways you can do that. You can follow me on Instagram or Facebook. You can message me through that platform or through my website. You can give me a call. Any way that you need to access me, there's many ways to do so. So I want to make sure that this has been impactful for you. And however you need that guidance or that next step, that next push, I'm there to guide you. So I look forward to seeing you next week. Have a lovely day, and I will talk to you all then. Bye-bye now.